What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, all right, we're going back to Steven Wilson. Yes, indeed, Steven Wilson Fans Feeling You. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbity bob, do me a favor. Before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Jason, and Jason wanted to see me react to this song by Steven Wilson called Luminol. Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a minute, hold it, I recognized it, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Let's see, this was posted by Damien Floret. Sure, why not? And the video has 1.4 million views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Steven Wilson, Luminol. That is just absolutely creepy. I gotta, what is it with all the long videos today? My third long video, 12 minutes and 11 seconds. All right, well, look, I mean, okay, my last reaction to him was kind of long too, but we were fine. We were perfectly fine. So hopefully we're gonna be fine here too. I don't know, we'll have to wait and see, I guess. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
I love that section we were just listening to. Usage of 44444434. No, actually, I don't even think it was that. I think it was 44444478. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1 and 2. Yeah, I think that was actually it. I mean, the argument could be said, you know, well, could it be 8-8? Yeah, it could be 8-8. Sure. That would work too. You know, 8-8, 8-8, 8-8, 7-8. Yeah, that could work. That could work. I was just trying to get 4-4-4-4-4-4-7-8. It wasn't 3-4. Yeah, it was 7-8. Let's see. That was really fun. That was fun to count, fun to figure out. I know from reading the comments, two things. I learned two things from reading the comments, and I'm basing this off of what it seems like the majority of the commenters would agree on. And the majority of the commenters in the last reaction video I did for Steven Wilson, there were two parts in particular. One, they all seem to agree that Steven Wilson is a member of Porcupine Tree. Okay, I could see that. Looking at the songwriting, I could definitely see that. That's number one. Number two, I made the comment that it's possible that Steven Wilson plays all the instruments himself. And the general consensus that I got from the comments was this. He does play all of the instruments himself when he is in the process of writing the songs. He does, you know, play all the tracks himself. He plays all the parts himself when he's laying down the rough tracks before a finalized product will eventually be recorded. However, when it comes to doing the final product, he does bring in musicians that he knows or he trusts or he hires based on reputation to come in and lay down certain parts and certain elements. Like from what I was reading in the comments, he does the guitar parts himself. He brings in another guitarist as well, but he does play the guitar parts himself. He does play the bass parts himself. And on top of the bass lines, he brings in a musician to play the Chapman stick. And then it's stuff like that. You know, he does most of the parts himself, but brings in additional musicians to play specialized parts to help fill out the sound. That makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. I got no problem with that. Now, how accurate is that? I don't know, but I'm basing those statements on the general consensus of what I was reading in the comments. Now, maybe it's possible the general consensus is wrong. Maybe the general consensus just they all agree with each other, but it's not actually factual. I don't know. But the general consensus in the comments in that other reaction video made those two statements very clear. So, cool. I got no issue with it. The bass is prominent in this song. Kind of... it's reminding me of someone, but I can't put my finger on. Not Jimmy Haslip. The notational selection, yes, they kind of reminds me of Jimmy Haslip a little bit, but the slapping, because it sounds like I could be wrong, but it sounds like it's all slapping for the most part. Bootsy Collins, maybe. Nah, it's not funk enough. This is very movement playing, almost like a walking bass line, but popping with slapping. No popping, just slapping only, just thumbs only. God, the movement reminds me of Jimmy Haslip, but the playing, I can't put my finger on it. It reminds me of someone, but I can't put my finger on it. Watch, someone in the comments is going to nail it, and I'm going to go, that's it. That's who it reminds me of. Watch, that's going to happen. I I like the flute solo. I think that was very tastefully done. Yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying this so far. I'm curious to know where this is going to go, though, because it does have to evolve. I mean, it's moved. Yes, it has moved around, but look, you could hit 3 separate marks, 3 separate riffs, and that's great. But if we're going to come back and do those same 3 riffs over and over and over and over and over and over again for another 8 minutes, it's going to get boring. It's going to get boring pretty quick. Let's see how. I'm sure that's not going to be the case. I'm sure we're going to evolve. I'm sure we're going to move around. I'm just really curious to know how, where, and when. So let's find out. Let's get back into this. Okay, guitar solo. Not guitar solo, guitar lead. Ooh. Okay. Oh, now where are we going to go? Okay.
Oxfam panache and tips his hat. Laces under. He has no trouble
Good harmonies.
with idle chat. Work to be done. The songs he learned from scratched LPs. Stops in mid-flow to sip his tea.
Bring the flute back in. I like it.
He strums the chords with less than grace. Songs we all know. Each passing year etched on his face. Sun, rain, or snow. The words he sings are not his own. They speak of things he'll never know.
staggered entrances on the vocals. I like that. Yeah. Little bend up, bend back down again in the vocal. Nice. Okay. I like everything we've heard in this section. It feels like it's an extended interlude, but here's the thing. It's an extended interlude, yes, but there's been a lot of moving pieces. It's been keeping my interest for sure. Between the vocal work, it was nice to hear the vocals come in. We haven't heard the vocals until this point. Piano coming back in it, not the piano, the flute coming in, getting another little solo section, which was nice. Piano then comes in, takes over. The utilization of these staggered entrances of the vocals, creating those harmonies and counter melodies, moving all together, really nice. It looks like we're starting to come back out. Flute taking over, kind of closing us out, possibly. We might be moving out of this extended interlude, which honestly, I hope we are. I feel like we've stayed long enough. You know, I feel like I feel like the point has been made. So let's get out of this interlude and let's move on to the next phase. You know, that's what it feels like is happening. It feels like we're wrapping it up. So let's see if I'm right about that, and let's see if we get out of this interlude or not. Okay. Ooh. Slowed down the tempo and went into a halftime feel. I like it. Nice drum fill. Rolling. Right. Nice use of the sax, I like it. choke. It's cool. No way. They're going to leave us hanging like that? Get out of town. That was nice. That ending. Yeah, that was nice. This is going to be an interesting review. This is going to be an interesting review. And there, for one particular reason, this is going to be an interesting review. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review. And we're going to talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Steven Wilson with Luminol. This was a request from Jason. Okay. I thought about this, and this this came down to just one thing, honestly. This is okay. Okay, if you want to be in on the joke, if you want to be in on what I'm gonna say and how it's making me smile and how it's I promise you, if you do this one thing, you're gonna be in the know, and you're gonna be able to do that whole I gotcha. You're gonna be on the joke. I promise. If you want to know and you want to be on the joke, you got to do something. I hate to do this to you guys, but if you want to know what I really okay, let me rephrase this. If you want to be in on the comparison, I guess is a good way to put it, of how this differs from something else, I need you, and I hate to do this to you guys, but I need you, if you have not seen the reaction prior to this reaction, the Rhapsody of Fire song. If you haven't seen the reaction to that song, go and watch that reaction. Okay, go watch that reaction and then come back to this reaction, because I promise if you do that, you're gonna be fine and you're gonna be in on it. Okay, I promise. I know that doesn't make a whole lot of sense right now, but if you go watch that reaction, then come back right to this, put this one on pause, open up another window, go watch that reaction, come back to this one, okay? And we'll pick it up, I promise. I'll give you a couple seconds to go and transition over to that reaction. Ready, set, go.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Okay, if you're back, that means you've watched that other reaction, the one for Rhapsody of Fire that was right before this. Okay, now you can be in on the joke. Now you can be in on all the references I'm going to make, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm going to start off with the score first, and then I'm going to give all my reasons for giving the score, and I am going to use that reaction as a point of reference for several things that I'm going to be saying here. Let's start off with the score first. On a scale of 1 to 10, I am going to give that a 9.2. Yup, 9.2. You heard me. I didn't stutter. That is the score I feel this song deserves. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, a 9.2. What does that mean? Well, a 9.2 would translate to an outstanding, amazing, impressive scale rating, because overall, I think this song was an outstanding, amazing, and even an impressive song. It would also get 5 out of 5 stars and an A letter grade. So there you go. 9.2, outstanding, amazing, impressive scale rating, 5 out of 5 stars and an A letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? So glad you asked. Right off the gun, it didn't have 4 intros. Oh, My gosh, what a novel concept. It had one intro and one intro only. And that was all the song needed before the song was able to take off like a shot. And I absolutely appreciated that. I'm just going to make this statement right now. Contrary to what some people might say, that because here's what's going to happen. There's going to be a lot of Rhapsody of Fire fans who are going to watch that reaction, come to this one, and they're going to go, well, they're doing the same thing, and you're saying you hated it in our video, but you love it in this video. You're absolutely right, because it was done completely differently, okay? Totally differently. For starters, one intro. One intro. Not 4 intros that took up 4 minutes. 2 minutes of that which were just absolute and complete fluff. That was not necessary. Did not contribute to the song in a positive way in any way, shape, or form. No, one intro. That's all you need. It's all you freaking need. One intro. That's it. That's all. That's all you need. And this song had it.
That's the fact, Jack. That's the fact, Jack.
And it was very effective. And it got the ball rolling. It took us into the song, and with the song, took off like a shot. The ending. Let's talk about the ending. I love the ending on this. Nothing at all like the other one. For those of you who didn't watch, let me clue you in. They started out with a riff, just a simple riff for about 20, 24, 25 seconds, something like that. And they just kept repeating it and repeating it and repeating it and repeating it. And then they kept repeating it and they kept repeating it while doing a linear fade for, get this, are you ready? A 43-second long linear fade.
You're putting me on.
Are you kidding me? Of the same riff, same voicings. It's almost like they took that one riff, just copied and pasted and pasted and pasted and pasted and pasted and pasted for over a minute, 43 seconds of which was a linear fade. The longest linear fade I think I've ever heard in my life. Redonkulous. No, instead, the ending on this song, really well done. Coming up, almost, you know what that ending reminds me of? If you've never heard the song, go check out the song. What's the song called? Diamonds in the Sand, I think. It's a Tower of Power song. Hold on. Time out. Let me go check that really quick.
2 hours later.
Okay, my apologies. It wasn't Diamonds in the Sand. Sparkling in the Sand. Sparkling in the Sand. Where it came up with that flute coming up. We sustained the chord underneath. And then we had the cymbal color, you know, with that swell with the cymbal and another swell with the cymbal. And that was it. And they left us hanging. I loved it. For the ending style, it made perfect sense. No linear fade for 43 seconds, thank God. No, very tasteful ending, considering where we were coming from, considering everything that happened throughout the course of the song. It made perfect sense. It felt good. It felt right. It felt appropriate. Nicely done with the ending. The bass work on this, probably the highlight for me, in all honesty. The playing, that constant slap playing. I know, okay, it almost sounded like it was a keyboard doing it. It almost did, but I believe that is an actual bass. I believe that is a bass being played. There was a lot of articulation differences in the attacks. It wasn't the same attack, the same sounding attack for every single note over and over and over again. It wasn't sterile consistent. There was some organicness in there. Although I will say it was done very accurately, so accurately to the point that it almost sounds like it's being done by a keyboard. The movement, not just the accuracy in the thumping, but the movement within the thumping, very well done. I loved in the beginning how this is a parallel. And here we go. For those of you that watched the Rhapsody of Fire video, this is going to be what I'm talking about when I'm saying coming out of the interlude, okay? But I have to set it up. So, in this song, we had a really nice, upbeat, up-tempo, fast-grooving tune, and we had this one section where we went, and the argument can be made for 4/4, or the argument can be made for 8/8. It doesn't really matter. Take your pick. But it makes sense to go 8/8, 8/8, 8/8, 7/8. That makes sense. 8/8, 8/8, 8/8, 7/8. Okay? And then we went into the interlude. Coming out of the interlude, did it sound exactly the same? No. There were some marquee differences. For starters, we didn't have 8/8, 8/8, 8/8, 7/8. It was just 4/4 straight all the way through. That's for starters. On top of it, different voicings, different instrumentation, different pattern, different direction, different tempo, different everything. Whereas opposed to Travesty of Fire, they went, here's the main riff, interlude, main riff again, just we're gonna try and disguise it by just changing the voicings ever so slightly.
You kidding me?
Okay, I mean, look, you might be able to fool everybody, but you're not gonna, let me rephrase that. You're not gonna fool everybody. You might fool most of the people, you're not gonna fool everybody with that. Other than that, it was a copy and paste job, okay? That was not the case here. Now, let's talk about that interlude, okay? That interlude section. Now, I'm sure a lot of people are gonna go, oh, DH is gonna hate that interlude section. It's slow and it's pretty. And I'm sorry, I hate to disappoint you, but that was my favorite part of the entire song was that interlude section. Absolutely loved it. I love the direction it took. Utilizing a lot of really nice instrumentation, a lot of nice voicings to give them an opportunity to shine in the solos. Flute solo, very nicely done. Piano solo, very nicely done. In between the two, vocalizations, very nice. Coming out of the piano, back to vocalizations, but with a different style. Interjecting and layering, staggered layering of vocals to create those vocal harmonies and those vocal chords. So well done. And we had so many different options, so many different movements, all within this interlude section. And here's the beautiful thing about that interlude section. Not one time did I ever go, oh, this is dragging. I never felt that. There were a couple of times, not gonna lie, there were a couple of times where I was about to say, all right, let's move on. And before I could say it, they did it. You know, before it got to even feel like it might be getting a little too long, they switched up direction and kept the variety going, constantly changing things up and constantly revesting the listener back into the song. Re-engaging the listener, whatever you want to call it, it's the same thing. I got reinvested into the tune every single time. That interlude section was so well done. I was seriously digging that middle section. Again, kind of gave me the Tower of Power vibes of Sparkling in the Sand. Dug it. Dug everything about it. The other two sections coming out, there were some definite differences, but there were some nods to the, within the second, there were some definite nods to the first without being a carbon copy cover. There was enough variation to keep me engaged and make me wondering what's going to come next, I liked it. I liked everything about this song. Everything about the song made sense. Everything about the song felt good. The groove on the song felt really nice. Playing around with straight time feel, half time feel, double time feel, rather than switching tempos erratically, which made me, I was not going to lie, during the Rhapsody of Fire reaction, there were a number of times I went, what? Okay, now we're here. Now we're at this tempo. It wasn't a change in feel, it was an actual change in tempo. Now, to be clear, I have no problem with songs changing tempo when it makes sense, when it's appropriate, and when it's done tastefully. I gotta be honest with you, there were a couple of times in that Rhapsody of Fire song where they changed tempo, and I was like, do we really need to change tempo here? It doesn't feel good. It feels awkward. Not here. Everything in this song made sense. Everything in this song felt good. And I really enjoyed this tune. Adding to that, the fact that Steven Wilson, I'm not saying he played every single instrument, but probably about 3/4 of the instruments we heard in this recording were probably him. More than likely, he hired a flute player. More than likely, he hired a piano player to come in and solo. He might have hired a secondary guitar player. I don't know what the instrumentation is fully on this, but it's possible that he hired those people to come in and play on those particular parts, maybe even more parts. But I'm willing to bet he probably played about 3/4 of the instruments that we heard. So really nice, really nice. And I gotta say, it was an impressive song. The fact that the song was 12 minutes long. Okay, I'm gonna be honest here. The first reaction I did to Home Invasion, the time flew by on that song. Flew by. On this song, it didn't fly by, but it definitely kind of cruised by. It didn't feel like 12 minutes. It felt like about 11, you know? It did move, it did feel a little bit shorter than it actually was, but not to the extent that Home Invasion went. Home Invasion flew by, boy. That reaction I still look back on that song. I still look back on the reaction and go, I can't believe that time flew by so quickly on that song. That was nice. This did move a little faster than it actually was, and I definitely took that into account. I enjoyed myself thoroughly listening to this track, and there was some really impressive parts of them, some really amazing solo work, and the bass work, absolutely incredible. So yeah, a 9.2. I feel good about that score. I know it's not as high as the one I gave for Home Invasion. I think I gave Home Invasion, and Regret number 9. I gave it a 9.5, if I'm not mistaken. And I know this is a little bit lower. It's not quite as impressive as the other song, but I still dug this tune, man. Absolutely. So yeah, 9.2, that's where we're at, and that's where we're going to stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have a 9.2, which is an outstanding, amazing, impressive scale rating, 5 out of 5 stars, and an A letter grade. Take your pick, I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hope I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, that did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well, then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.